I'm going to walk you through a bit of your RSVP settings that you have available on your WEDSITES account. So first, go to your RSVP from the dashboard, click on Responses, and you can go over to your settings. Now, in this RSVP settings panel, you have a couple different options which are on by default, but you can turn them off. So I'm just going to walk you through each and every one just to cover all our bases. So the first one is restricting RSVP to your guest list. So what this means is that only the guests that you've added to your guest list can RSVP. So guests, when they come to your website, they're going to be asked to confirm their names, and only exact matches would be allowed to RSVP. So that's going to be their first name, their last name, and if that doesn't match up, it's going to match with their email address. So if you want to have a strict guest list, you should keep this enabled. But for example, if you don't really have a strict guest list and you just want anyone to RSVP on your site, you can turn that off. The second one is collecting email addresses. So at the top of your RSVP questionnaire, which is going to be the form that your guests see when they come to RSVP on your website, they're going to be asked to provide the best email contact to get in touch with them. So if you want to be collecting their email addresses, you can enable that. But if you don't need their email addresses, then you could just turn that off. The third one is collecting household addresses. So this is particularly handy if you are sending out any physical stationery like your invitation, or if you are sending out thank you cards. This is a really easy way for you to collect those addresses rather than having to chase every single guest up and asking for that information. But if you are doing everything digitally, including save the dates, your invitations, and your thank you cards, maybe you might want to turn that off. And then the final one is collecting dietary requirements. So within your RSVP questionnaire form, there is going to be a question where your guests are asked for their dietary requirements, where they can tell you if they have any allergies or if they're gluten-free and things like that. So all of that information, if you've checked this option on, they can enter that information, and their dietary requirements will be saved inside of your guest list manager in that dietary field within each guest. So that's it. So those are the 4 options that you have.